like with Andy Cohen as far as Cairo is concerned. Let's just say that. So we'll just leave it at that, Shereé. So you think Drew made up the whole, you think it's just all fabricated of like, this is embarrassing that my husband and I are going through this on TV and let me just throw something against the wall to get the heat off me.
Yeah. And then, I mean, who better to come for it than, but the queen, the OG, like, really?
Do you think like Drew is out of her league? Like you said, you're an OG, you're the bone collector. I mean, you helped invent the game. I mean, is she in over her head and coming for you?
Now, do I need to answer that really? Do you really want an answer to that? I mean, isn't it obvious?
It is obvious, but I just felt I would ask.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't seem to think so, though. She seems to think that she's a formidable opponent.
Well, of course. I mean, you always have to, if you don't think highly of yourself, who else will?
That is true.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts? Kandi was involved in this. I mean, Drew told Kandi and Kandi told Marlo, and then Marlo told you. Like when all is said and done and the dust is settled, are you upset with Kandi? I mean, we've watched the show, but like, where does she fall in all of this?
Now, originally, I was very upset with Kandi because, we all hear things about each other. These streets they stay talking. But it's the point of me knowing Kandi for as long as I've known her. And this is somebody that she just, whatever. So she's telling her things about, or things that she think are about me, but Kandi's not coming back to me. She's going to other people. So to me, that's almost like spreading the gossip instead of bringing it directly to me. So I was a little upset with Kandi. I felt like that, we should have been better than that. We should have, had better communication, but she since apologized. So, I can't be mad at her, forever for that. But she apologized and I accept her apology. But originally, yes, I was heated at Kandi.
And you never spoke to Drew before this season, like Housewives, like you don't know her from just being around Atlanta, or do you?
No, I met her when we all came together to say, this is the cast. And that was it.
Do you think like you talk about authenticity and like the OGs and like, listen, we're in season 14, of Atlanta. So, it really any franchise, like, can someone come in like Drew's in her second season, like Sanya, hers in her first season, like, can someone come in now authentic? Or is it like, do the newbies come in like too studied? Like, one could argue, well, if Drew wants to make a splash in her second season, we might as well. I mean, Shereé is coming back. That's a thing. Yep. That's going to be a headline. So, I mean, is it now calculated with these newbies of like, you come in knowing the game or knowing the assignment, as everyone says?
Yeah, I believe so. I believe they have studied. They have been fans of the Real Housewives of Atlanta for some time. And they come in thinking that they have to do X, Y, Z. And that's why a lot of them don't last. They don't last. Like you may see them one season or two seasons, whatever. They don't last because you come in, you think you need to make this big old splash, but honey, a splash is gonna happen regardless. When you have some strong-minded, opinionated women, you're gonna get that splash. You don't have to make it. You're gonna get it.
Right. Is there anyone who was like a 1 or 2 season wonder? Like you look at like Shamari, like Kim Fields, Claudia Jordan, Eva Marcel. Those are kind of the 4 that, were 1 or 2 seasons. Do you think any of them, kind of deserved a second season or was gone too soon?
Oh, absolutely. Now, again, I don't watch it when I'm not, but I hear everybody talk about it. And of course, when Claudia was on there, it was one scene, everybody was like, I know you don't watch the show, but you got to go watch that. Claudia, definitely gone too soon. Gone too soon. I think a couple of them. I didn't really watch the others, but I heard good things about them. So gone too soon.
I agree, Claudia. I think if Claudia ever came back, that would be epic.
Yeah, for sure.
What about this season? And when we see Marlo has her peach, it was like 10 years in the making. Like, Kenya doesn't seem to think all the time that Marlo deserves her peach. Like, how do you feel about this?
I think that Marlo put in a whole bunch of damn work. It is about time. It's been a decade. So if you put in all that work, you're due. You're if you've been that patient, that I mean, she wanted it. She wanted it, and the fans like her. The fans like her, and I think it was time.
And we get to see more about her life now, being a Munty. You don't have that storyline when you're just a friend of. So I think it's good to finally learn a little bit more about Marlo.
Yeah. But that's the thing. You just want to make sure that people are going to be completely transparent about their entire life. And I feel like I've always done that: the good, the bad, the ugly. I went through a divorce. I've had child support. All the things that people, not always pretty, don't always just show the pretty. I show everything. So Marlo, to me, this season, she's showing a lot, and that's what people really want to see. Like, they know her on, just on a surface level, but they really want to dig deep, and they want to know who you are as a person.
What about when Kenya says something like, okay, I'm Kenya, I'm an icon, Marlo's an ex-con? She's implying that, she's implying Marlo is doing what we just said these newbies do, of like, she finally has her piece, she's throwing everything against the wall, like she really wants to make that splash and like hold on for dear life.
So you're saying that when Kenya said, Marlo, I'm an icon and Marlo's an ex-con, what do you think she was talking about?
I think she was talking about kind of like, she was asked like how Marlo's doing this season, and she was implying like Marlo is like trying to be Nene. Those were her exact words. Like, Marlo's trying to like throw everything against the wall and just be so over the top because she finally has her peach, and she's so desperate to hold on to it. That's kind of what Kenya was saying.
I don't know if that's exactly what she was talking about, but okay.
Wow, so maybe not. What do you think she was talking about?
I think she was talking about her previous arrests, her multiple previous arrests. I think that's what she was talking about. But she may have also insinuated that Marlo's trying to be like a Nene. But to me, Marlo, even as a friend, she had this huge personality, So that's in her, and I think she's just being consistent with with who she's been as far as that.
I kind of think so too.
Yeah.
What about, we have this event for Kenya's daughter, and, Kenya decides to play this game of, like, let's write something shady about each person. Now, I mean, in what world do we think this game will have a happy ending?
In no world.
Right?
In the metaverse somewhere is going to have a happy ending, but you cannot create these type of games at these type of events and not feel like you're going to get some type of feedback. It's going to be negative. It's not going to go well. It's not going to go well. I knew it.
It's not going to go well. And when Kenya says, she's come out and say like, listen, like, I just want to have a fun season. I want to pass the baton, let Marlo be the villain, let whoever, I don't want to be the villain this season. I just want to enjoy myself. I mean, is Kenya